I'm Gina Mizell here at Boone Pickens Stadium with former Cowboy defensive end Richetti Jones, our Cowboy Insider, as always. We're talking about Oklahoma State's big win over West Virginia on Saturday and looking ahead to their contest against Texas Tech, the final home game of this 2012 season. But Richetti, let's first look back to that game against West Virginia. The third quarterback starts for the Cowboys, which has been the story all year. The third quarterback gets a victory in Clint Shelf, and that's not the only position that's been banged up for this Cowboy squad. So I guess being a former player, did you realize this team, number one, had three quarterbacks, number two, had this much depth, and number three, had this much resiliency after everything that's happened this season?
It's funny. You know, people, they need to take a step back and realize what's going on. It's a lot of teams in the country that struggle to have one quarterback. We've had three quarterbacks come in and win games for the Cowboys. So that's a great situation to be in. But at the same time, you have to thank the coaches, because it takes a lot for a coach to convince a guy that, hey, you're the guy now. You're that good. You can do it. So I'm proud of everyone, the players and the coaches.
Absolutely. Now looking ahead to this game against Texas Tech, obviously last season a big win for the Cowboys in Lubbock, but a lot's changed. A lot of new faces for these Cowboys, and it seems like, Texas Tech, especially their defense, is much improved. So when you look at this game from the outside, what's the biggest key matchup or key player, or what do you think is ultimately going to be the deciding factor in this game?
Well, the Cowboys need to be ready for the Raiders to come in with a chip on their shoulder. Last year, the Cowboys beat them 66-6 at home. So this is going to be a grudge match for these guys. But the Cowboys, they need to just keep playing good football, and the secondary needs to keep on improving, and the front seven just keep doing what they've been doing, and they'll be just fine.
What do you remember about Texas Tech quarterback Seth Dagey? Obviously, he's a returner in the Big 12 and a solid quarterback. So what do you remember about facing him?
You can't ask me that question, because I don't remember too much, because we put them on his back most of the game, and they didn't have any offense, and they didn't even score a touchdown on us on the defense last year. So I don't really have a report card on him, because he was a non-factor for us for the team we had last year.
Absolutely. Now, of course, like I mentioned before, this is the final home game at Boone Pickens Stadium, the final game ever for these seniors. But whether you're a senior or not, is there something extra special about the final home game of the season and the last time you'll play in front of this home crowd each year?
Oh, yes. The last home game of the season, that's a very important game. You have to embrace it, love it, and give it your all, because this is the last time that your home fans will get to see you in person playing at OSU and Boone Pickens Stadium. And for the seniors, this is the last hurrah. It's like the Michael Jackson film. This is it. There are no more games for you here at Boone Pickens Stadium. So it's going to be a great game for the seniors and for everybody. And with football, you never know how football is, so you never know how injuries may go in the spring and two-a-days. You never know. Everybody won't be back on this field playing football next season. Yeah,
with all those injuries, that certainly has come true a little bit this season for these Cowboys. Now, as every week, final score prediction for this game, obviously Oklahoma State and Texas Tech, kind of those borderline ranked teams, so that might lend to a close game. What do you think the final score is going to be?
I think the Cowboys are going to come in and play lights out. After the victory they just had over West Virginia, I feel they're going to come in, and my final score is 45-13. It's a big score, but I feel the Cowboys, they're rolling now. And if you can have your third-string quarterback come in and still put up numbers like this, I feel these guys, they're rolling like they need to be right now.
All right, well, you heard it here first. Cowboys face Texas Tech here at 2:30 p.m. on Saturday. But until then, stick with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.